Hello and welcome to part 2 of our October trip to the southwest. We stopped off at this Minnows touring park near Sampford Peverell so we could go and visit Karen's relations. First time we've ever stopped at a proper genuine real camping site, and it was very nice. Then after we'd seen our relatives we headed off the next day towards Lee village, and we stopped off for a cup of tea here, had a look at the ponies, and then drove on. The road that we took from Porlock through to Lee was pretty twisty and turny, and the crafter did struggle a little bit on some of the very sharp bends, especially coming out of Porlock. This village is just absolutely lovely, really nice, and I thought this sign was fantastic, you know, years and years old. Then the other sign that's about to come up is just a bit tongue-in-cheek. I guess they have a problem or two with your unexpected person parking. Just up a public footpath alongside the car park was a toilet block, which was very, very handy, and the footpath then took you into the main part of the village. It was just a very enjoyable place to spend a couple of days, and we did have a bit of sunshine and we had a bit of rain as well. This is Lee Beach, just along from Ilfracombe, and we stayed in the car park just up there by those houses. It's very muddy, the car park, so not ideal in wet conditions, and we have to keep the dogs' feet clear. But over there in that gap you can just see what looks like to be some steps where you can actually get through that gap there when the tide's out, and it takes you to another sandy cove. And there are actually steps in the stonework. There's actually almost a full pathway through there. So we went through there yesterday. Obviously the tide's in now, but that was absolutely incredible through there. And this is a lovely, lovely little place. Absolutely lovely. Apart from the muddy car park. And there's a stream there coming out under that hole under the bridge, and that was very handy for washing out the towels we used to dry the doggies' feet off with. We then headed off to Ilfracombe. Never been there before. It rained a bit, and this rainbow presented itself directly over this dust cart, which was just extraordinary. Had a little wander about, had lunch there. This is a theatre, looks like a couple of nuclear towers. I found this statue hideous. It's a Damon Hirst effort, and obviously he does do controversial work. This struck me as strange. It could have been a car park. Maybe it was. We then went off to Arlington Court. I wasn't over impressed with the other carriages in the museum, but this is the Speaker's State Coach. It was behind a perspex screen, but my goodness, it's fantastic. It covered in gold leaf. I believe it was used for the wedding of Prince or King Charles now and Princess Diana. You know, it was hidden away in a darkened room, and the video camera doesn't do it justice. I took a few stills which are a better resolution, but yeah, this was extraordinary. It was worth visiting this National Trust location just to see this. Yeah, that's a bit more detailed. Gorgeous thing, absolutely fantastic. We arrived a bit too late to actually visit the building itself, but again, this has caught my eye. Pretty elaborate bicycle rack carved into this log. It's where we stopped last night, Chargot Woods. There's a hell of a view from the van, kitchen window, down this valley here. And this is an old iron ore mine, or it was. I've just been reading the information board about the engine shed that I've just been exploring the foundations of. And then right down in the valley, down a path down there, there's a ventilation flue from the mine.
Lovely place to stop, almost dead level. We are quite close to a B road and they're going past there at 60 mile an hour. So quite a noisy stop, although I did sleep well last night. Didn't wake up until 7:45, so it can't all be bad. Very, very nice little spot indeed.
Dave Howell recommended we went to Watchet, and I'm glad we did. Lovely sunny day, motorhome parking right by the beach, or the harbour rather. Worth stopping the video and reading this clip about this strange goose. And we really did enjoy it. It's a really nice place. We had intended to go on to Minehead, but there were roadworks, and from where we parked up at the previous woodland, this was a very accessible location before we headed off eastwards, because our target for the next few days was Salisbury and Winchester. We had a nice time on the beach, or Karen did, and then we shot off to Salisbury. Karen has always wanted to go to Salisbury Cathedral and Winchester Cathedral. We got our timing a bit wrong. At Salisbury, we did manage to get in, and they let dogs in. It was fantastic, you know, but we could only go in for the morning because there was a primary school event with literally hundreds and hundreds of children arriving. This altar, the reflection on this altar were just amazing. The water was dead still, even though it was pumped and trickling over each corner. But look at those. Extraordinary thing. The cathedral itself, I didn't live far away many years ago, and I've probably been here many times. I don't remember it. It's the colours of the ceilings and everything are spectacular. The way you look at the photos, as I said, there were hundreds of children turning up in the afternoon for an event, and all we heard while we were walking around the grounds outside the cathedral was corgi, corgi, corgi. They absolutely loved the two dogs, and literally just squeaking the children, corgi, corgi, dozens and dozens of times. It really was quite extraordinary, and I think they enjoyed their little trip. We parked in the Salisbury Park and Ride, which was within walking distance of all the facilities and all the town centre. Wasn't massively expensive, but the Winchester Park and Ride that we went to the following day, £3, including park and ride for a motor caravan in a dedicated motor caravan parking spot, was really good value for money. Look how sumptuous that is. Look at that ceiling. It's a cracking place. We could have done with some more time there. Coming up shortly, there's an exhibition of books in the shape of a seat that a lot of primary school children made, and they were quite captivating, really attractive. And this stained glass window is a tribute to a lot of people. There's me with Sam. But they're just beautiful little things, you know, all individual, really attractive. Outside the cathedral, you can see in the pictures coming up, some of the children are beginning to accumulate. There must have been a good 2 or 3 dozen schools arriving throughout the afternoon whilst we were walking around the grounds. On the spire, there were workmen. Interesting job, nice view. The graphic on this van parked outside in the cathedral square caught my eye, and had a sort of a butterfly emblem on it. Can't resist a bit of fudge in the shape of Stonehenge. Don't know whether that's been there since 2016 though. Then Karen had a look around St Thomas's. I sat outside in a little pedestrianised area with the dogs, and this, again, another beautiful little church. So I didn't get to have a look around inside it. So these are her snaps.
This is Pitt down, halfway between Salisbury and Winchester. We've just been to Salisbury Cathedral and we're off to Winchester Cathedral tomorrow.
That was just a lovely little park up. Definitely use that again. Loads and loads and loads of individual little parking areas all the way along this park. And then off we went into Winchester. I say £3 to park and ride all day. Gorgeous place. Again, it rained hard. We were caught out a bit, but this was having a student event. They were giving out all the awards, so we couldn't actually go in. So Winchester's going to be a place we'll have to go back to again. We wandered about, went around the back of the cathedral. I have a habit of photographing doors. I like old doors and often take pictures of them, but it was a wet day, and I think if we go back again, we'll go back on a better day. This river, absolutely lovely, crystal clear. And then Karen went into the museum and had a look around there, and I had a wander about in the high street and just do my bit of guarding the dogs. A lot of original floor tiles from the cathedral, at least I believe it may be from the cathedral, or may have some Roman connotations as well. We didn't go into the Great Hall this time around. We had a look around the castle and wandered around the high street a bit, but it was a bit damp and grotty. Then we spent the night at Port Solent, just outside of Portsmouth. You can stay 2 or 3 days. It's great, absolutely great. But I made a major balls up. I drove through the congestion zone in Portsmouth, and that cost me £100 for maybe 100 yards of back streets. That was going down to Eastney Esplanade, where we met up with Alden. He was in a bit of pain there. His feet were hurting. He's had an ingrown toenail operation recently. Karen and he wandered off to the dockyard where Alden's a tour guide. He spends his time on the Victory. And I stayed in the van with the dogs and out onto the beach. And I think we all had a lovely time. You know, the dogs loved that beach. It's a fantastic location. The Esplanade is actually on. It's a road. You know, it wasn't too noisy at night though. And then after Karen had come back from Victory, we went out for a meal. We just had a lovely time. He's keeping up with him for 2 or 3 days, and then we headed off to Marlborough for our last stop of this particular visit. Marlborough's lovely. I didn't live far away from this when I was in Nipper. This caught my eye. Dragons needed, or bar staff for dragon fighting needed. Very curious little town. Had a good look around. Brilliant park up in the public car park at the back of the town, and we had this interesting car parked next to us for part of the afternoon when we got back, so I took a few snaps of that. And that concluded our trip to the southwest for 2022. Thank you for watching.